Hello and welcome to our Gantt project tutorial. Today we're going to be taking you through the Gantt tool and show you how it is used with respect to a waterfall model. We have already made a project with all of our tasks right here, as you can see. We also have resources, and it also provides you with a PERT chart. Now, we will take you through the creation process. We want to start by going up here to Project, then select New. Save this. Create a new project. This right here, as you can see, allows us to name our project. It also lets you denote an organization, web link, and a description if you find that useful. Alright, so right here is where we add new tasks. Start by adding a task, and immediately it lets you name this task, so we'll just name it Task 1. Now, you can right-click on it and go to Properties, and it gives you this menu. Now, this menu lets you also name it. You can toggle this milestone option, which allows you to basically just determine whether or not this is a significant event. You can have begin date, end date, and duration. Now this duration, it does not say, but this is days. It's measured in days, not weeks, not months, not years, days. It allows you to also set a priority. So if something is particularly important, you set it at a high priority. You can also track progression here with this counter. There's a timeline option. You can toggle on or off. You can also select a shape or pattern that will show over here on the timeline in place of this blue block. You can also change the color using this color palette and assign significance based on color if you wish. Over here to the right, you see the Edit Notes section. This allows you to document notes specifically relating to your task. On the next tab, you see we can add predecessors. Now what this means is that if a task has a predecessor, it cannot begin until the predecessor has finished. That is particularly useful in the waterfall model. Over here on the Resources tab, we can assign resources, and we will visit this later after we've discussed more about resources. So over here on the Resources tab, we can add a new resource. Now, we will just call this something. And you can also have a phone number and mailing address or email address. And here it allows you to define a role for this resource. Over here on your Days Off tab, you can assign their work schedule and denote when their vacations are and when they will and will not be working. So we'll make this resource. Now if we go back to the Tasks menu, we can go to Resources and add our resource to this task. Now this basically means he will be the one working on this task. Now right here, if you add more resources, you can determine which percent of the workload will be on who. You can also toggle on coordinator or not. Now if you go up to Project, we can look at Properties. And I forgot to mention this earlier. There's this calendar feature. This will determine which national holidays you will recognize, as well as when your official work week begins and ends. We've gone with the traditional Saturday, Sunday here, as you can see. You can also determine if you will be working during the weekends or not. Here on the part chart menu, we have a graphical depiction of your tasks, and it has inside of these bubbles the start and end date and the duration in days. Again, it doesn't show it, but those are measured in days. Now if we go back here and create a new task, we'll call it task 2, you can link these up. And what this does, by left clicking, dragging, this will set task 2's predecessor to be task 1. Again, meaning that task 2 cannot start until task 1 is finished. As we mentioned before, this is particularly useful in the waterfall model. Finally, there are some export options that we would like to showcase here. This menu allows you to set up your Gantt project in Microsoft Project. You can also provide an HTML or PDF report. This will set up your Gantt project in a nice format in a PDF so that you can share that whichever way is most useful to you. Now, we also have an option here to export your project to a web server, and this will allow members of your team in different locations to update the same project, and each time the project is saved to the server, it will update for the other members of your team, which is quite useful. Thank you for watching our Gantt tutorial video. Have a nice day.